gentlemen, hiss and foes, welcome to the Culture Casino.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you all for coming today. I've got the same great group of panelists, and a few missing and a few that might join us later. We are going to get started right away because we are going to try to keep within a schedule because we've got some folks that are super busy YouTubers. So let's bring in our first person. This is the Mirrorsphere Origin. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing?
All right. Yeah, let's bring in the famous Wes Moody from the Wes Moody Webcast.
Hey, folks, how's it going?
All right. And last but certainly not least, and probably one of the most recognizable YouTubers right now is AFK Bard. Hey, AFK, how's it going?
Hey, hi, howdy. Happy Sunday morning.
All right. Happy Sunday to everyone. So we do have some stuff to talk about. We have a couple other subjects that weren't mentioned in the description. So we're just going to free flow and roll. First of all, hey, Mirrorsphere, what is going on with you and your channel? I know you had a stream last night talking about your book. Let's hear what you got going on.
Oh, not much. You know, we were talking about the book. We were talking about my brother's doing the summer series. He's reading those to help him understand like past and present tense. So he's using that to help him better edit the book. So we were just going over the first 3 chapters that we already dropped, and we're just showing like how our editing process is going, like how he does it with his programs and stuff. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, other than that, we're just doing what we can, dropping videos here and there, doing some reviews of some TV shows. I did episode 1 of Umbrella Academy Season 2. I'm going to do episode 2 next week, and then I'm going to do the seasons of Doom Patrol.
Oh, awesome. All right. That's cool. All right. Well, then at least we know what to look forward to. That's awesome, and that'll be great. So, Wes, I know you've been stupid busy lately, and you were up super late. So what's going on with you?
Oh, well, I was on Bear's channel last night, and we had a special guest. So definitely recommend you guys catching the replay. We had Nerdrotic. We had Gary, the man himself, on there. So very special. We were talking about the Star Trek episode Balance of Terror, and yeah, it was a great conversation, and I recommend everybody check it out. And of course, we're going to do some sort of Trek Tuesday, you and I, Culture Casino. And then if you're available, maybe I was thinking like whatever Wednesday, maybe looking at the decline of Western civilization through whatever's trending on Twitter.
Well, that's pretty easy to do. There's plenty of decline.
Yeah.
Sorry, I accidentally boomered that and threw up our share for the beginning, but that's okay. And then last but not least, yeah, I know I tried, guys, I do. And then last, but like I said, but not least, and certainly somebody who's definitely well recognized in the community now, AFK Bard. What do you got going on? I think there's a Stranger Things review coming out. Am I right? AFK, literally AFK right now.
Whoa.
Sorry. Mute button issues. I apologize.
No worries.
No, everything's going good. I think I'm going to do one this week. I know I haven't in the last 2 weeks. But, positivity and, motivation and whatnot. So if you guys are looking for a Stranger Things review for Season 2, Episodes 3 and 4, it'll be Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you have plenty of time to binge watch that because Netflix is really nice about just continuing each episode. So there you go.
All right. Well, you know what? And I like those. I like to pop in on those, as you know. So I was a very big fan of the show, especially in the first season. I really hope that they return to form here in the next swing. But I do appreciate your reviews, and your panel's great. I love to see Ian, who makes Rebecca Gold. For those of you who don't know, he's a legitimate creator, short film creator, really, really talented. And so that's always fun. So yeah. So all right. Well, let's get fired up. Let's go ahead and get started now. We are a lot of us like to play games. I know FK does. I know Wes does, and I think Mirrorsphere also does. And one of our guests that may join us later is also a huge gamer. And we need to talk about something. And this is an amazing thing because this is not supposed to be a popular game or a game of the year. And I'm talking specifically about the Ghost of Tsushima. So as we look here. Hopefully, I'm not doxing myself.
Not that I can tell.
I can't see.
All right, well, good. All right. So as
in the upper right-hand corner, it said Culture Casino.
Oh, good gravy.
I know.
Oh no! Now we know
now it's gone.
No.
That's terrible. Terrible. Anyway, so yeah. So this is this again is the. This is an amazing thing because we're seeing here a story from Hypebeast. This is 3 days ago now, saying Ghost of Tsushima is the fastest selling new title ever on PS4. And recently there was another fastest selling title on PS4. And yeah, I don't. Well, first of all, I don't believe it because they stated that it was within a specific time period. I think it was the first week or whatnot. Yeah. So. Yeah, as we start to see these headlines coming out about the Ghost of Tsushima, they talk about how, and even GameSpot says there, Ghost of Tsushima has sold faster than any other first-party original IP on PS4. That's honestly not that surprising. But before we move along, we have one more guest, and he's very popular. He's not only an author, but he's the producer of many products, and I would like to welcome the author, Stephen Walker.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Sunday.
Hey, Stephen.
Happy Sundays, sir. Welcome and welcome. I'm glad you can make it. Everybody had such a late night tonight. I'm always impressed and amazed when we're able to get our crew together for these types of things early in the morning, because I know most of the time we'd all like to sleep a little bit longer. But,
a little bit of willpower and a lot of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
There you go, sir. There you go, sir. Well, I tell you what, since we already did all of our breakdowns, you got anything coming up other than a vacation, from what I understand? Is that what's going on with you, author Stephen Walton?
Yeah, I got a vacation next week, so my channel's not going to be that active. My Tuesday show, TR4, is going to be on Final Death Star's channel, and the Rogue Entertainment will be on Sporking News Podcast. So check that out, guys, and thank you for asking.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those shows. Both of those people do extraordinary jobs, and we're very lucky to have them in the community. So I always appreciate the mini JJ that we have and Scotty. I think they're both great. So all right, and anyway, so moving forward, so Ghost of Tsushima is the fastest selling new title ever on PS4. And again, I mean, to me that doesn't surprise me. And I know a lot of people were reading about the fact that this particular game was not, representing the Asian culture very well, especially the Japanese culture. And what's really funny is the sales in Japan. Yeah, the sales in Japan are absolutely amazing. So it's wow, I'm really doing badly here. They're doing it's just doing amazing over there, and so it's really frustrating when you have the one narrative from the supposed informed mainstream media or the games media or whatever, and we end up with a completely different story. Does anybody want to comment on that before we dive deeper into this a little bit?
Well, if I understand the allegation, somebody asked, I believe that somebody, the charge was that it was insensitive racially, and that so they asked people in Japan about the game, and there was accused gatekeeping because that was discriminatory against Asian Americans. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, that was some of it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It sounded so ridiculous and absurd, I almost didn't believe it.
Yeah. Who is upset? Who's upset?
No one.
Well,
one.
It was the people who were upset, people who were clearly upset.
The people that are always upset about everything.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
No, I got real quick. I was like, I got an argument on Twitter with some lady about talking about how it was cultural what is that called? Cultural appropriation. I was like, so because I'm not Japanese, but I like Japanese culture and history, because that's one of my favorite subjects at school, was literally Japanese history. And they're like, yes, because you're white you like some other culture, you're appropriating their culture. I'm like, what?
The whole purpose of these people and their narrative is to create division and hate. How is appreciating another person's culture, getting to know their history, getting to know that part of world history, all the subcultures involved, I mean, any niche, how is that bad?
I told her, I was like, wait, so because I'm white, I should only stay with whites, and Japanese should only stay with Japanese. Blacks should only stay with blacks, right? Is that what you're saying?
Segregation.
Like, I was like, so you want segregation?
Yeah.
And she's like, what? No, no, only whites should stay with whites. I was like, wow.
That's the Ku Klux Klan argument you just used. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, let's get a little bit beyond that and say specifically that it removes people's clout when you have something that's this successful, and when the culture that it's portraying, it appreciates what's being done because it honors their culture. And we do that in so many different ways in this country. We are, in the United States of America, a melting pot, and we appreciate everything from everywhere, from all around the world. We have entire sections of communities that are not only welcoming but well represent the culture and the heritage that they come from. And that's the thing. You honor your heritage, but at the same time you assimilate into the greater culture of America as a whole. And we up until very recently, as a country, we've always done that. Always.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just, look, certain communities feel comfortable around their own communities, which is why you have Chinatowns. That's why you have those things. But once you create a center of respecting their own culture, a cultural center like a Chinatown, then you can have people from the outside explore that culture and maybe begin to appreciate it, maybe want to know more about it. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand the narrative of cultural appropriation. It's just about creating segregation, division, hate, bigotry. That's it. There's no other end game to that I can see.
Yeah.
Yep. It seems to me that when you do that, well, we're not a melting pot anymore. We're starting to basically divide everything out into like the individual ingredients, and it's just like you can't do that because I don't know. It's not. We're learning, right? And we're picking up. And the one thing about America is that's the thing that it always has been. It's like you pick up from other people. You can turn on the TV and watch a cooking show and learn how to make something from Italy. And I bet you now someone's out there complaining that you shouldn't be making spaghetti on a cooking show unless you're Italian, because it's just getting to this point where it's so ridiculous. But there's someone out there who's saying that.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
But see, here's the problem, and maybe this is one of the side effects of social media as I see it. And that is that you've given it. It's great that everybody has a voice, but at the same time, should everybody have a voice? I mean, if they don't have anything intellectually honest to say, or anything intelligent, or anything like that, should they be given power? Now, I am not a gatekeeper, but don't you wish? And this is not me being 100% straight and serious, but don't you think that it's quite possible that everybody that is going to have children should get a license to have said children? There might be some qualifications.
I'm a strong believer in the IQ card culture. I think we should get tested 3 times in our lives, and then those tests should be based on things like basic knowledge, morality, just regular stuff that we would consider normal that some people apparently don't like. And then, we just retest, every decade or so. And this IQ card would function as a way to say, let's say you do something stupid in public, and then, someone checks your IQ card and says, well, I'm sorry, sir, you're too dumb to drink alcohol. I'm sorry, you're too stupid to leave the house. We have work from home programs now we could institute for these intellectually inept. No. On the real though, no. I want people to everyone to have the right to voice their opinion. I want the idiots front and center. What scares me?
All right.
What scares me is when intelligent, devious-minded people like many of the politicians that we have right now, people that are running corporations that have no vested interest in protecting or evolving our culture. They only want to suppress certain people's opinions so that so that they'll vote the way that they want to engineer public opinion and things of that nature that use vast swaths of idiots that actually believe that cultural appropriation is a thing. Like that's what scares me is not the idiots themselves, because I think we can pretty much all tell who's a moron, but those that are very intelligent and just have no morals. They're just devious, and they use people who are very fearful, who are afraid of who are afraid of others for whatever reason, feel inadequacies within themselves, need justification for those inadequacies and someone to blame. And our politicians or our corporate overlords are pushing them in the direction of it's okay to blame this segment of the population. Those are the ones that scare me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and there are plenty of them. I mean, and they all try to represent themselves, in a way that you don't. They mask it. They mask their true intentions in this disingenuous rhetoric that they push forward. So, yeah, it's 100% right, Stephen. So
they don't actually believe what they're espousing. That's the problem. They're on the other side. They are the thing that they claim to be fighting against.
Mm-hmm.
Well. To that end, I'm going to bring in somebody who's very well versed on video games and has just arrived to join us, and that would be the famous now Star Citizen pushing like a dealer, Mando Merc. Here comes Mando Merc. Hey, there's our resident Star.
Hey, Mando.
Hey, man.
What's up, man?
I'm now a drug dealer in video games. That's a clear opening.
I'm teasing you, buddy. I'm teasing you.
Could be worse.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. So sorry, I'm a bit late. What? So?
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine.
Topics, yeah, specifically.
Yeah, no, we're good. I tell you what, right now we're discussing the fact that Ghost of Tsushima is now the fastest selling first party original IP title in PlayStation 4 history. Well, that would also make it in PlayStation history, but they've seemed to have in 3 days they pushed forward 2.4 million units. That's an impressive number of games, and it kind of makes us laugh at the T. Louis 2 thing, right? And Resident Evil and Final Fantasy remake and all that. Not even Final Fantasy remake was excellent, but I'm just saying that with the amount of press and attention that was given to T. Louis 2, it's really amusing that this game just totally eclipsed it,
blew it away, doubled it, didn't it?
Yeah, it doubled it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they all cried like little babies.
It's really interesting to see because, the PS4 exclusives that we've had so far, God of War 4 or just simply God of War, and Spider-Man PS4, they both did also really well. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man PS4 was one of the best-selling games of 2018. So, I didn't actually think that would be topped, and then we have this, and this was a game that I'm pretty sure everyone I know that pretty much knew about Ghost of Tsushima was just, I'm excited for this game, I can't wait for it to come out, and now that they've got their hands on it, they're like, it's a great game, it looks beautiful, and it's also one of those games where it's not just it simply looks beautiful and it's a fun game, but it's one of those games where it's groundbreaking in what it does, because it's not okay, here's a waypoint, you simply go there. They actually use the environment as a way to guide you to your objective. For example, I forget what the key was that you had to press in order to activate it, but you need to know where to go. A gust of wind will tell you which way to go.
Follow the wind.
The environment, it's pretty much more in the world itself is more interactive.
I saw this part where they turn it. You can be black and white. And
and you can turn it into
awesome.
essentially a Kurosawa movie.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to watch. Everybody that's streaming it right now, and there have been several people, Angela Straven, we all know who that is in our community here, but all of the people that have been streaming it have been amazing. I mean, it's just amazing. It's beautiful. You're watching something that's really, really pretty. I said originally, and this is my assessment, is not only is it a very attractive game to play, but it's beautiful to watch. It's also, it's not setting the world on fire as far as the, groundbreaking game mechanics or anything, but it plays well. It's easy to play. It feels good. It looks good. And as Machini 90 just said, it's a visually stunning piece of art brought to life, and he's 100% right. And if anybody knows, it is this man who is one heck of an artist, and he is also inspired by the Asian culture, and a lot of his art has heavy influences there, and you can see it. And
Does that mean he's a bigot? Culture?
Cultural appropriator.
I don't know if you watch
my television show to become a reality. I call it it's a cooking show. I want to call culinary appropriation, where it's just people from other countries making dishes that are not from their country.
Yeah,
there you go. See, culinary appropriation.
I think that there are like some Salvadorians running my favorite Mexican food restaurant. What does that count as?
They're not white, so they can't.
I think most of my favorite places are Mediterranean places, but they're not made by, well, at least most of the time, they're not made by Mediterranean guys.
Well, think about this. People travel to France to learn how to cook. Mm-hmm. They go to cooking schools, and they're not French. I mean, are we literally going to divide absolutely everything that's unique about every culture from and require that it's only produced by? See, this was the slippery slope we were all talking about 5 and 6 years ago, when all of this idea about representation or over-representation now was being foisted upon us. And I think that you're starting to see only Italians are going to be able to cook Italian food, and otherwise it's cultural appropriation, which is a completely mischaracterization of the definition of the word misappropriation.
Just remember, white people don't have cultures. I've been told this, so we just steal people's cultures. So we don't have cultures of our own. We don't have Vikings, French, Italian, English, German.
You're really triggering me right now.
Oh my gosh! Right. Well, I didn't want to get this deep into this. Like I said, I just found it interesting. We cited 3 articles in the last few days where the total number of units exceeded the established title goals that they've had. It's also interesting that, again, this story is old now, and now we know that the total number of sales for this game have been ridiculous and have made T. Louis 2 look funny. We also know that this game sold out rapidly in the Asian market.
I was about to say, this game also pretty much went extinct in Japan, but because they all loved it there. They absolutely loved this game, and I think Sony literally had the issue okay, we're sold out. Like, can you guys stop buying it for a sec so we can make more? And then
they really sell physical copies. They wanted everybody to buy them online. Yeah,
they really didn't know they were being oppressed.
So should we wait for PS5, or is this a must pick up now?
Well, it'll play on PS5.
Yeah,
it'll play on. I'm pretty sure it'll play on PS5, like Spider-Man PS4 will play on PS5.
Oh, okay. So it'd be
like
PS4.
PS5's backwards compatibility is a bit wonky. We don't know if every PS4 game or just specific games like the exclusives, the big name exclusives like God of War, Spider-Man PS4, Ghost of Tsushima. Whereas with Xbox Series X, we know they confirmed every Xbox One game and every 360 game and original Xbox game that you can play on the Xbox One will also be on the Xbox Series X, which is amazing because people want that backwards compatibility. Like, I know a personal friend of mine wants, he has the PS4 and he loves it. He hasn't gotten this game yet, but he wants to get it, and he was talking about with the PS5 how he wants to be able to play his PlayStation 2 games on it, but he can't.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, again, I mean, the thing is we're looking at this differently. We're looking at this because we're looking at it thoughtfully, and it's not a superficial. We're not being superficial about this, and we're not being disingenuous. It's really funny that the culture that they want to be so offended by this is in a position where they can only purchase this game digitally for, or we're only able to purchase this game digitally for a couple of days while they produced more of them. It's insane. But, we've been warning the whole world, you need to acquire your physical media. I hope everybody's been listening, because they're, retroactively, changing things, censoring them. Of course, with this game, like I said, I mean, I thought it was a no-brainer that this one was going to be a huge seller, because it was amazing that when it first came out. So, All right, well, let's move on a little, and while we do that, I'm going to have our friend Mando Merck talk about what he's got coming up, because I know he's doing a lot of stuff, and everybody else had an opportunity. So go ahead, Mando, while I pull up our next thing. All right, bud?
I am? Oh, right, I am. No, so I got actually... I was supposed to be doing a episode 8 of my podcast, Cast in the Shadows, last night, but we had to cancel, unfortunately, because 3 of us, myself included, were just unable to do it. So we pushed it back, hopefully to next weekend. We're not sure yet, but we are definitely going to have a special coming out sometime this week for the Transformers Netflix series, as we've been, over the course of the show, talking about how excited we are for it. So,
yeah.
And I haven't watched
We're
it
pretty
because I'm of how we're going to do it on the show. Like we're going to be doing it live and everything. So it's like I want to watch it first time on the show there, and it's just like, when are you guys available? Because I really want to watch this. And the longer we put it off, the longer I have to wait to watch it.
Yeah, I always look forward to your stuff. I like to see what the latest. I like to sneak in and look at the latest Star Citizen stuff, and I promise you and I are going to get together and play together. As soon as it's reasonable. I've got another couple of real work days to do in this week, so it'll be this week sometime, and we'll reach out to you on Discord, and we'll fire up Star Citizen, and you can show me how bad I am. That'd be great.
I'm looking forward to hearing what you think about the Transformers Netflix series, because I loved it. The only critique that I have of that series is it felt like it was being played at half speed sometimes. Some of the dialogue was just like there was a second or a second and a half too long a pause between lines. That's the only critique I have. That series is really good. If any of you guys out there are fans of the original series, the comics, check it out, because they pay a lot of homage to what came before them, and we don't get too much of that in today's entertainment.
Oh no, we do not. And just in case, I'm totally not a huge Transformers fan by any stretch. I mean, I totally didn't make this. No, I'm kidding. I'm a huge Transformers fan, so I've been really looking forward to this series, because I remember when I first heard about it, and I'm just like, they're making. Are you pulling my leg? Like, is this a joke? And I know I realized something the other last week about the series when it came out. I realized this is the first time in over 10 years that we've had a Transformers series where the toys came first and then the show came second, because I think the last show to do that was Transformers Cybertron back in 2006 or 7, a year there. But since the movies, we've just had the shows come first and then the toys come afterwards. So,
I mean, that's how they all started out. Was the
exactly.
introduced.
That's why I found it interesting, because it's a blast from the past kind of thing.
Yeah, great series.
All right, well,
I watched all 6 episodes. They're pretty good.
I enjoyed it.
I'm looking forward to taking the time to watch. So we'll. And let's just with that in mind. Speaking of watching things, I switching up the order of this because I want to close with or at least bring up at the end this thing we talked about that we were going to do right now, but that's a lot of inside baseball and doesn't make sense to anybody. So I'm just going to share my screen. So Tom Cruise had a unique phone call and organized a way to make a film in space, literally.
Yeah.
Does Tom Cruise have a girlfriend?
I don't know. Can't answer that question.
I feel bad for anyone that wants to hook up with that crazy psycho.
Well, I mean, because Elon will hit it. I'm just saying.
In space, Elon go after it. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I knew that was coming. That one. I couldn't get out of the way of that joke. But anyway, what's really cool is think about this. They're looking to spend $200 million of Universal's money to make a space film with Elon Musk. And Elon Musk is listed as a partner in this project, but they literally are going to use SpaceX resources and their technology to actually film a film in space.
Wow.
So, so from the article, I'm going to read real quick and then we can start commenting. The $200 million figure is an estimate, considering the project is still being scripted and the unprecedented logistics. But it costs more to make space set blockbusters that never require breaking through the atmosphere. It seems a reasonable sum to make movie history for a movie studio in this pandemic moment when streamers are making all the noise. Hey, that's us, guys. And that's another reason I wanted to read the article.
Do you think that that's taking social distancing to an extreme?
Yeah, I think it works. I mean, look, I mean, $200 million is a bargain. In fact, that's the related story here. Think about how, blockbusters like movies like Endgame and stuff like that are like, $450, $500 million expenditures of a line item out of a studio's budget. That's insane. Mm-hmm. And while those projects definitely make back their huge budgetary requirements, they don't make up a giant portion of profits. Now, honestly, if they're using some of SpaceX's money and resources to do this, I mean, that's the best partner you could possibly hope for, right? Yeah. Oh, yes. And of course, our buddy Memes comes up with the best idea: Muppets in space. Actually,
yes.
I was thinking
Muppets in space. What was the segment?
Pigs in space, right?
Pigs in space. Yeah, it was all the pigs.
Or pigs in space. Yeah. But see, I think I think that would be awesome. Oh, wait, Script Doctor disagrees. Such a waste of money to film in space. Well, quite possibly, but
for sure. But here's the thing: I'm hoping that all this Hollywood money that getting poured into filming in space will help make space travel cheaper. Because now, like at the moment, the projected prices are like you're gonna have to pay like $2,000 per ticket. Or alone or something. It's like cheapest. It might go up from there. And obviously, it's going to be expensive because it's the first time that space travel is becoming commercially available to the public. Just like when air travel became first available to the public, it was expensive. But then over time, it became a regular thing. I'm hoping that's the case with space travel as well.
Well, I think the effort is to make it more accessible to everyone, which I think is awesome. I mean, I would pay $3,500 for a round trip to space. I often thought that it would be completely reasonable to have like a space cruise, a 2 or 3 day space cruise. Well, I would jump on that train knowing full well that I'd be yakking my brains out for like.
It's going to be the corporations that normalize this type of thing. So, I mean, doing a movie in space is just another step to normalizing getting McDonald's in space eventually. That's when we're going to start having cheap space travel when it's normalized.
And
I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was just going to say that the reason why space travel, even just from launching a rocket from New York to London, what it does if you travel and then essentially inter-orbit travel would be, you'd be, instead of going on a 12-hour flight, you'd be going on a 30-minute rocket ride.
Right. I mean, and we're in a state right now where we've got a lot of things going on that are keeping us distracted. Meanwhile, the U.S. government, who's been one of the biggest institutions holding out against the idea of there being vehicles not of this earth, just flat out admitting it. They just that just dropped this year, right? Aliens are real, just dropped this year, and nobody's talking about it because we're worried about Portland. Things like that. So, I mean, how long is it going to be until certain technologies that may have been suppressed over decades are put forth that allow space travel to happen with more ease, without the need for large explosive rockets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and here to what Script Doctor, the question that he's asking, I think that question is covered in the related article, which is here. Doesn't he's starting to look his age now, right? I mean,
he is starting to look his age. I just noticed that. Yeah, especially around the eyes there.
Yeah. So, and from this story, I mean, I'm not sure exactly if it's saying it's cheaper to make it in space. In fact, I don't see anywhere in here, but that's an illusion or an assumption maybe we're supposed to make.
Yeah, I doubt that. You gotta think that Tom Cruise will have to go through all the training the astronauts do. He's gonna be in perfect health.
Will he look younger in space?
Yeah. Gravity helps. Gravity helps with your face.
Actually, the more gravity.
Oh, that's probably been airbrushed too.
Hell yeah, that's been airbrushed. That ain't his real hair.
And he probably looks really bad in real life.
Oh, God, guys, come on. That's not where I meant to go with this.
Oh, sorry. I got
anyway. No.
The only thing I would be worried about is how dangerous it is. You think you gotta have your camera crew up there, right?
There's a lot of radiation too, isn't there?
You know, like anything goes wrong.
Oh yeah, like
everything could happen. You know,
the
fall apart.
Astronauts aboard the ISS experience a single day, like essentially what we experience in a single day in terms of solar radiation, they experience in like an hour.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but the radiation doesn't affect Tom Cruise. I mean, look at him.
His alien space gods will protect him.
That's right. That's exactly it.
He's gonna come back looking like Emperor Palpatine.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, he starts shooting out of his fingers. We're all in trouble. But look, I know that this is a weird thing. It's almost a throwaway article, but to me, it's not because of everything that we just said. If they make space more accessible, I think that's going to be phenomenal. So, but you know, it costs anywhere from $2 to $10 per pound of weight to put into space. Even I agree with that. That statement's probably real close. That's probably real close to accurate. So, I agree. I would love to have a great glass elevator.
Yes.
I think that'd be awesome.
A Wonka-vator.
Space elevator.
Yeah. Well, think about this.
Cool.
The geniuses in LA went all the way to Tunisia to build a giant green screen on a location site.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it might be cheaper.
It's probably safer than shooting in LA at this point too.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Script. If they're actually legitimately part, and this is, you know, this I'm addressing this directly. If they're actually partnered with Elon Musk, maybe he's assuming some of the financial responsibilities. So maybe it's only $200 million out of the studio's pocket, and everything else will come out of Elon's.
Right. Well,
he can't afford it.
Well, I mean, think of the promotional value for SpaceX. You know, I mean, that everyone will be talking about SpaceX at that point. You know, right now it's the interested. It's, you know, your military complexes, your Senate houses, your intellectuals like universities. They're the only ones really talking about it. You put a movie with Tom Cruise in space, everybody's going to talk about SpaceX. It's going to normalize it to the population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Kai. Good morning. Yeah, age happens. Sorry, I know. Look at me. Okay, I just wanted to bring this up because I thought this was a cool concept. I think we beat it completely into the ground.
Really, because I don't think we've talked enough about the fact that Tom Cruise's upper lip seems to have disappeared. No, he's gone now.
Got a little crazy airbrush in there, you know. They actually airbrushed some of the wrong stuff out.
Where do you go for a butt break? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Bree's involved in this project meme, so I don't know that you'd need to worry about that.
You know, Lyndon Hall just put out an excellent 1.5-minute video discussing Bree's buttocks, and I just wanted to shout that out. I wanted to shout my man out real quick. He's only got 126 subs, guys.
I imagine that would be very difficult to do, considering how she doesn't have one.
Well, I mean, if you look at the clips of the yoga video, there was a derriere there, so.
Yeah, maybe
her butt double in.
Or maybe it was because she was on her period. There was some bloating.
Woo!
We have. Yeah. You're. Go ahead, AFK. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. Can you hear me? Okay, I just want to make sure. I accidentally kicked the camera. Awesome.
No. You're good. You're good.
I was just gonna say, I think she. I mean, despite everybody making fun of it and stuff, I think she really does have a butt. Because, like, not that I've been staring at her butt that often, but the clothes that she's wearing and the shots that people compare to are actually, like, her suit was not conforming to her butt in Captain America. Like, if you look at it, it actually, like, it sticks out further than, like, certain butt and it flattens her down. Like, unless you have a suit that's like specially fit to you, you know, it's gonna hide some features.
First
And
off,
then
you're
the
triggering
one
me.
where she's wearing the pants in the store. Girls know how to like wear some real skin tight pants, and you can hide your butt in those. So I believe she's got one. You know, she's just, I think she was taking advantage of the workout video to prove it, because there's no way in heck she hasn't heard that there are people complaining that her butt's flatter than Tom
Oh,
Holland's.
she's heard it. That's why at the end of that video, she said, if you have something mean to say, don't comment at all. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
no, a girl's got a little booty on her. Yeah, that Captain Marvel outfit, it was not form fitting. And I think that was the point, because, you know, we're not trying to objectify her.
Oh, that's true.
So
Flat is good now.
yeah. So I mean, criticism is criticism. Look, of all the things I criticize Brie Larson for, her body would not be one of them. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
So
Yeah.
That's
So
not-
this is the thing. This is the thing I thought we'd do second, but we're now doing third because reasons, and because there's a person on the panel who got a first or a second-hand account of actual information. So this story came out yesterday at some point that season 3 of Seth MacFarlane's The Orville is to be its last, and this was huge bummer news that we got. And for 12 hours, it was not refuted or talked about in a way that would give you any positive feelings or any hope. And the show is amazing. I mean, Seth put it together to honor Star Trek in a way that Star Trek wasn't currently being produced. And if you get past the first 3 episodes, it becomes a real gem of television. And then I'm talking about the first season even. It is a I don't know. It's probably the best representation of Star Trek that I could have hoped for. And we've had 5 other Star Trek shows that have done a very poor job of doing what the Orville does in a humorous way at times.
the Orville is Star Trek.
It is absolutely Arthur Stephen Walton. You're correct.
It's
So when you guys, no, please.
No, I'm saying it's definitely a spiritual successor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And so with that, I mean, I when you guys heard this news originally, because this wasn't a secret from us for very long. We were really worried. What were your thoughts? Did you bite this and understand what these stories were talking about? Did you bite into the news? Did you think it was hogwash, or how did you feel?
I processed it in 5 seconds because I didn't know that there was this rumor going around that it was canceled. And then Gary mentioned that the rumor existed, and then in the same sentence said, but it's hogwash. So I was like, oh, thank God.
I didn't even know about it until I saw Gary saying nope.
Okay.
And I was like,
Oh.
Yeah.
I missed the sweating because that I would have been just stressed out. Because seriously, we need Star Trek on TV, not Star Trek, CBS Star Trek, as in Seth MacFarlane's The Orville Star Trek. And if we lost this right now, it'd be a tragedy, because this is basically like the next generation, but modern, and it's got the heart and the soul. And that's why I'm saying, like, even if, like, for whatever reason, Fox, because Fox is stupid, decides that they don't want to have it, somebody will take it, because it'd be just like an idiotic to turn it down.
Yeah, maybe it'll end up on Amazon. But yeah, I mean, I read it and I was like, well, I kind of thought a couple of things. I was super bummed when I read about it. And then second, I was like, well, I mean, that's fairly predictable. Of course, they're going to cancel a good show. That's just how it seems to happen. But then, Gary was on, Gary was on our stream on Bears channel last night, and he said he couldn't say everything, but he did think he could say that, no, it's not canceled for a season 4, but show the Orville some love is kind of.
Yeah, if you guys out there are looking for Orville news, pay attention to Gary Nerdrotic, because he knows he's been given tours around the Orville.
He's been
sets and things. So
must be so hard to sit on that season 3 stuff that he knows. That he can't talk about.
I know.
Well, and think about it. This is another great product for many reasons, but this is a physical set, guys. I mean, when you walk around, the screens are screens. This is not there's not a bunch of green screen. I mean, there are a few, but there's not a bunch of green screens around, the set. It's not like looking at, like what we saw for Star Wars when you saw the behind the scenes and it's just walls and walls of, green screen with a few set pieces. This is a physical set show. So
there aren't many holograms. No freaking interactive holograms, which I don't know about you guys, but when holograms are used as like interactive displays, like it bothers the hell out of me, just from an engineering standpoint, especially since like old Star Trek and even old Star Wars, holograms are always meant to convey information, whether it be communicating with another person or visually communicating information. That's how it always was. It wasn't, well, now let's have this holographic display control panel like something out of Iron Man.
Yeah.
Well, you're 100% right. And when you looked at those holograms, they all they did was communicate information. I mean, in the good ones, it was merely a visual representation or a video that's reasonable. To assume that we'll have that technology, but interactive is incredibly difficult to even imagine that that's possible from a physics and science standpoint. Think about the fact that you essentially would have to be reaching through a sand media, to interact with something that was being projected on the sand as it fell, or something similar. I mean, it's hard to imagine what would have to actually exist for you to have a level of interaction with a hologram, a lit object. So, but anyway, and to talk about this more directly, I think Tom Constantino actually mentioned that this was not likely to happen. To just remember to show love to the show, and it would, if it doesn't return on Hulu, guys, I guarantee you it'll find another home. This is it.
Amazon
this show's already moved once. It's moving, not a problem.
Netflix would be awesome.
Yeah, Netflix would be awesome. Even Amazon would be awesome. Or both.
Amazon would be a good choice. Well, imagine this. Amazon controls both The Expanse and the Orville. I mean, they basically just took over the two best sci-fi programs on television in one sweep. That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I noticed that Showback suggested it being on Netflix, and I was going to say, honestly, I think that its strong suit is that it's on cable or accessible to families and people who do have TV, because you can also watch it online at the same time. But I feel like if it was on Netflix, this is a show you can't drop all the episodes at once.
True. That's true.
It's just like the feel of the show.
You could probably drop the first couple seasons, but just have the first or two. They could probably drop the first season on that.
Oh, right. But I meant if they do new episodes, they
would have to wait.
You can't do all of them at once.
Well, it's available on Hulu now, right? That's and so you can get through the first two seasons. And get into the third as it launches. So, but like I said, I mean, it's moved before, it can move again. We've had shows that have gone back and forth. Before. I mean, it's not unprecedented between networks and so on and so forth. And now, as long as you still have studio space and you don't have to recreate all your sets, which is going to be the biggest problem for this show if it had to actually physically relocate. But, if Tom Constantino is willing to, say, no, this is probably, not a big deal, then, I would believe somebody who's essentially Seth at this point running this show.
Right.
So,
Well, they can do that virtual background stuff, right? Technically.
Say again?
The stuff that they use for the Mandalorian with the background that's you can see. I had heard about that and someone told me about it and I saw behind the scenes clip. But I didn't know they even used it for just that little office scene. When he goes to talk to that guy about taking the very first deal to go find the baby. I didn't even know the entire room was fake except for the desk. And so it's you can totally have an entire place set up and not have to worry about it. The only problem is you have to be really good at it. It's I imagine you can't really cover the same around that you were talking about how like all of the sets are connected for the Orville. Like
Yeah.
I got to go on a set tour for like Stargate SG-1 and Atlantis when they were on, and they were
lucky.
you could literally walk through the base and go to like the doctor's like area and like everything and go upstairs and it's like you wouldn't be able to reproduce that no matter what, I'd say right now with any sort of technology, and you'd have to have like super awkward cuts and stuff. So I'm just worried about any show or any movie that tries to use this new technology, because it's just gonna be awful, especially if you do CGI makeout scenes.
No.
Yeah, I think that won't fly. I think that the audience will reject that. Reject that kind of production. I can't imagine them wanting to move forward on something like that they know that would fail. But again, I've been proven wrong, because we got Birds of Prey and the latest Terminator movie and Charlie's Angels. And
I think Shellback is correct. They could do it like Disney Plus did. That's what they should do. Like Cursed. I'm reviewing Cursed, that series. They dropped the whole damn thing at once, all the episodes. I'm like, you're cutting yourself off at the knees instead of allowing a natural generation of people that want to see the series. Because when you drop it all at once, if you watch the first 2 episodes and you're not interested, then you're just not interested. But there's always that anticipation for that some people may get when you have the next conclusion a week later. Will I revisit this?
You lose that also when you have the people who will binge the show, and you have other people who don't have the time for that. When it airs once a week, the people have time for it, and you can actually have discourse with other people. But if you have a friend who's like, "Oh, I watched all of them last night," you can't have a conversation without them going, oh, I won't tell you about the next episode, but let me know, it's going to be good.
Right, exactly. And there's a difference between something like that and the Transformers series, War for Cybertron, that just dropped, because they're all 23-minute episodes. Like, I watched them all in one shot. It was like watching a movie.
Yeah. I was going to say, they're 24-minute episodes. It's 6 of them, so it's a 2.5, 2 hour, pretty much a 2.5, feature-length film.
Yeah.
Length.
So that's different. But when you're talking about hour-long episodes with like 8 to 10 or more, episodes in that season, you really let it marinate for a while. Let the first episode come out. People talk about it for a week, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. I think that
hype that way and get more people to watch it than if you drop it all at once.
You also get YouTubers and people that do these kinds of commentary to do breakdowns of each episode, which generates more interest to the public. Or can.
Yeah, I just finished the show called what was it called? The King's Avatar. And if you ever said it's like a Japanese, it's Chinese style, show.
Dig it.
It was an hour long, 40 episodes. It was so good though. I didn't want to stop.
What show?
It's called King's Avatar. It follows kind of like the the esports. It's like an esports show where it follows a team and like all their struggles and stuff, and it's really good.
Cool,
really cool. It's on Netflix. So
yeah, and see, this is something Tina points out, is the challenge with Netflix is that they don't like shows that run longer than 4 seasons, which seems to be true, guys. I mean, we seem to see that with Netflix as kind of a repeating pattern. In fact, they will actually cancel popular shows before they've reached their natural conclusion. And those of us who are Lucifer fans had to fight very hard for a 5th and now eventually a shorter 6th season. And, Tom Ellis did us a favor by signing that deal. I mean, had he not agreed to do a shorter 6th, we would have not ended up with another show. And I love Lucifer. I'm going to be reviewing Lucifer.
I
just started it on your recommendation, actually. And I'm liking it so far.
Good.
Yeah, and it's because. Yeah, exactly. And because it's based on, a comic book, I'm a natural, that's like poof, it's a fan, because I love Lucifer. I love Constantine, the darker characters. I've always liked them. I like Blade. I'm a weird dude. I like that stuff. It's why I hang out with Angelus Draven, who is our resident vampire in the fandom communities. But anyway, I think what author Stephen Walton says is logical. In fact, you could actually, instead of releasing one episode a week, you could even release one episode a day. At least you're preserving some substance of your serialized format, and making your audience wait. But think about it. You can keep an audience very easy week to week. I mean, The Mandalorian proved it. So I don't know. I don't know if Netflix will experiment with that idea of doing it, but I wish they would for shows like this, like Seth's show or like The Expanse. I like that. Even though I have to wait, I don't mind waiting a week. I mean, I had to wait a week to suffer between each episode of West Wing.
I had an idea, and
Not
I
West
just
Wing.
want to throw it
West
out
Wing.
there.
Yeah, AFK.
With all these streaming services, and they're struggling to get people to basically go to them, especially there's an older generation that's still going to be on TV, right? So I've been thinking, like, why don't they do what like HBO and Showtime have done or did in the past, where there for a weekend you'd be able to see like a couple different things on TV that you could get with that extra service, right? Because like if Netflix had a channel that they were like, okay, this, on the weekend, we're going to show these episodes of these different shows that we have on our service, then they would be hitting a whole new, group of people. And I really, it bugs me because I'm like, I want to help you guys do your advertising. Because, I legit think that there's a whole market on TV of people who just they think that it's too complicated or they don't understand what Netflix is in the first place, Because originally they used to just ship out DVDs and stuff like that. And honestly, I have a friend who still does that. And I'm like, seriously, you have the internet. Like, why? But I don't know. That's just what's been bouncing in my head.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree with you.
That.
No, I agree with you. They absolutely could create like a niche thing where these particular shows only run on Saturday and Sunday, and we're only showing making these couple of episodes available. I think that would be brilliant. And you're right, YouTubers would help advertise them. But just for a second, we need to step away from this concept. Or this conversation. We'll walk right back to it. But we've got to say goodbye to our buddy Wes. He's got other obligations he needs to meet. So let's hear what Wes has to say or what's coming up.
I have adulting to do, folks. I'm so sorry to break up the flow of the show, but it's always an amazing time. Thank you, Culture Casino, AFK, Bard, Mirrorsphere, Origins, Steven, and did I miss anybody?
Nope.
Mondo. Yes.
It's okay. I'm always forgotten.
So, I am Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast. You can find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast, where I talk about pop culture, current events, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional retro gaming streams, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it's my webcast. So Tuesday coming up, we're going to cover Star Trek. Wednesday, we're going to cover, it's going to be whatever Wednesdays. So the decline and fall of Western civilization through Twitter trends. And then Friday, we do conspiracy or conspiracy. Hope to see you there. Thank you, my friends.
Right. See you later.
Thanks. Appreciate you, buddy. Take it easy.
Take care, Wes.
Bye.
Yeah. If you're not subscribed to Wes, you're missing a lot. He's so much fun. He offers a very diverse content, but it's very focused, so it's easy to digest. And here's the thing, AFK, and I think Parrot Head was right in your same vein. Imagine a free preview channel that Netflix offers. You get these yeah. And you get 2 or 3 free things, on our shows. And then maybe we're going to release these 2 or 3 things, that we just released on. So you can watch the first 2 episodes of this show. And then you're like, God dang it, I need to get Netflix. Right. I think.
Oh yeah, totally. You can even do a little segment where you show an episode or 2 of really old shows that people would be like, holy crap, I didn't know that was on Netflix. That's so old, because I've got my mom who constantly calls me and she's like, did you know that you could watch this? I'm like, oh, cool. She's like, you should watch it. So
I think they just dropped a bunch of the old Star Trek stuff on Netflix because I just started watching Enterprise for the first time because I watched, I'm not a Trekkie, but I watched quite a few of the original Star Trek, and I didn't really get into anything further than that because I was always an SG-1 guy, Stargate.
Gotcha.
And so I just started watching Enterprise for the first time, and I'm on episode 7. It's pretty good, and I'm just like, I'd rather watch the old Star Trek than anything they're coming out with. So,
yeah, it's Yeah, I mean, you can go back and watch TNG or Deep Space Nine or pretty much anything and get more enjoyment out of, what's been produced from Secret Hideout or even JJ look, I did not feel 100% comfortable with any of JJ's movies. They were really fun to watch at the time, but when you step back from stuff, sometimes it's a little rough. But anyway, so we've covered 3 topics for the news of the day. There's one more that Mirrorsphere Origin brought to my attention, and that is a game remake that we can talk about real quick. It was actually a cool game then. Mirrorsphere, you're up, buddy.
Yeah, it was Destroy All Humans. I don't know if any of you guys played that game when it was first out a long time ago.
I remember that game. Yeah,
you just run around and you just like annihilate cities for fun, and so they just remade it. The graphics are better. It looks really cool. I know it's got some hate. So
where you play giant monsters and you just like wreck a city.
Well, you play like a little alien dude.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It was around time those movies were popular. Those popcorn alien invasion movies.
Yeah.
It caught on to that subculture, but it was a fun game. It was just mindless destruction.
Yeah, and they just put a trailer out a week ago, 5 days ago or whatever for the game. It looks as fun as it was back then. I mean, we can run the trailer if you guys want. And pause it in between for comments so I don't get claims. So let me do that.
There's a time for thought,
You guys are already
and there's
hearing it, I
a
think.
time for action.
One of those
There we
times.
go.
I take your point.
So, what's the name of this crummy planet?
Our destination. The planet Earth.
Crypto here.
That looks pretty fun, right?
From safety of the mother.
Do you get anal probes?
Yes,
I don't know about that.
I saw it where they do anal probe.
Excellent.
They're really going to do that? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So now something Steven has to look forward to other than his daily enema.
Yeah, I was watching Angry Joe's video where he was playing a little bit of it, and they were to comment on that. They're like, "Look at all the different weapons you can buy, you can upgrade," and it's like anal pro. Like, oh my god!
Let's just say I'm up here and you're down there. The human military industrial complex. Exterminate them now!
See, I love the graphics because I thought all those fun games, those old games were great. They were a lot of fun to play, and I thought the graphics, they did a good representation of the characters. I think there's a couple games like this right now that you can play and actually build on, run on Unreal Engine. And the names of them are escaping me at the moment. But,
I don't know about you guys, but I see an evil white man who is oppressing an alien in a legal village, and this is triggering.
Oh, okay. All right, Steve. Well, I'll trigger you some more. Are you ready?
I give you official permission to destroy all humans.
See, and that looked fun. You just go around, shoot
I know,
people.
right? It's just
The mindless fun. Yeah.
I'm a fan. Yeah, and I guarantee you Wes will end up playing this. So I think you're gonna get a chance to watch him play this because this is right up his alley too.
I mean, it's interactive. It's the exact opposite of CNN, which is mindless aggravation. It's
Is this a game where you just run around and do things aimlessly, like the side quests of Grand Theft Auto, or is there like a grand?
Well, there is a story, and like you do certain things, but you pretty much you go to like at the beginning where they're showing is like he's talking to cows, and he's like, "Man, the main creatures on this world have weird udders, and they spray out this weird liquid. Talk to me," and he's like trying to read its brains, and it's hilarious.
Very cute.
Yeah, it's funny.
I mean, is there an example of the anal probes in this trailer?
I don't know, Steven. I will run that commercial. If you keep pushing it, buddy, I will run that commercial even on my channel. Anyway, I'm threatening you.
Those probes.
Actually, it's called an injection kit, or we're trying to come up with new names for the coffee enema kit that comes along with Steven's group product. But we'll get there. But apparently, he's all about the probing. So I'll shape something like that. Maybe he wants more of a bulbous shape, or I don't know. We'll work on it for R&D and see what happens. But anyway. Okay. No. Anyway, this is a cute little game. We'll watch a little more of this trailer, and then we'll.
My units are approaching.
Gosh, I remember this game. I cannot wait. I'm pulling this down on Steam today.
First, communist spies infiltrated a small country fair in the American heartland, and they destroyed the whole.
Communist aliens.
I think it looks good. All right. Well, anyway, I like I said, those are the kinds of goofy games that take your mind off of stuff for a while. That's escapism in its purest form. Yeah, and I think that I think that everybody would enjoy something like that. Very mindless, very fun. Application kit. Thank you, Script Doctor. That is what we will call it. The man with the words, the greatest script doctor that lives in Canada. Yeah, the whitest man on YouTube. He always knows what to say. I think it was some video game about an article from NPC Media. Was really? Okay, I'll have to check that out, Allie. That's nuts. All right.
Yeah.
Walton's Best Brew Probe. No, I think Application Kit's probably going to win there, but thank you, Shellbach. By the way, his name's Shellback, but I think he's a classical composer, so it's Shellbach as far as I'm concerned.
I love how you call him Shellbach. That's hilarious.
Shellbach. Yeah. I'd have to clean up the Navy terms. They're just, they're too masculine and testosterone-y, which is the actual San Francisco treat. Anyway, well, you know what? Does anybody have anything else they'd like to say following on Death to Humans and things? Does that seem like something fun to play?
Yeah, I'll check that out.
Seems like a classic game, just having some fun with it. The graphics are great. The colors are really nice. Check it out.
This is true. That's the same voice actor that did Billy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That's right. Wow.
Oh, that's
great.
It also sounds like the characters from Space Invaders. I loved that movie when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah. Well, and the aliens look like the Mars Needs Moms kind of.
Yeah.
So anyway, look, there is a guinea pig sighting. Hey, Tommy.
What's up, Tommy?
I just want to say the chat's been on fire today. You guys, I appreciate everybody that popped in today, and I recognize that you are the key element when it comes to YouTube, and I appreciate each and every one of you, especially those of you that are subscribed to me, which I think everybody out there is, which I truly appreciate. You guys make me feel great, and it's all about me. Oh wait, no, I'm not a narcissist.
Respect the hair.
That's right. Respect the mane, the eternal mane. Yeah, and it's actually all about Stephen Walton. But with that being said, did anybody have any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
If she's questionable, don't give her your real name and double bag it.
So like AOC?
The number's high enough. Go for it.
The number's high enough? It always depends on the hot, crazy scale. She's got to be this hot, and she's going to be this crazy.
That's a fine line.
No, I've seen scales, and they're
same thing with dudes. Dudes are also on the hot, crazy scale.
Tell.
I'm telling you.
In other words, they make it as confusing as possible, so that that's why you're always unsure if you're finding a crazy woman or not.
Mm-hmm.
Just me.
Dude, memes is so great. All right. Join Geeks and Gamers. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Apollo Patriot. Guys, go over, check out the Geeks and Gamers website if you haven't. I don't work for them, and this is not a plug for them in any way, but it's a lot of fun to hang out there, and you don't have to be a premium member to check out all the great stuff. So, and I appreciate like the Heart of the Fandom Menace, who had probably one of the best 500 subscribers streams I've ever seen or been on. Thomas Gilkey was incredible.
Hey, Thomas. Congratulations on 500 again, Maddie.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
It was a great stream.
Yeah. Don't time out Apollo Parrot Head. No. Apollo's a Twilight loving dude. He's a Greek god. You don't want to do that. I don't want to bring down the wrath of the Greek god. I'll be memed from here to eternity. So no, thank you.
I think I got everyone on the panel now in the chat, like channel-wise.
Thank you, sir. And I want to say a special thanks to Mando Merc, who acted as the mod that posted everybody's links. I really, like I said, appreciate everybody that came today. We're going to wrap it up. So I'm going to say, you know what? Let's start with the most important person on the panel, AFK Bard. Let's hear it, young lady.
Awesome.
You chose the second that I muted myself. I swear to God.
Read suppressing the speech of your dog.
I didn't bring it out. If there's ever somebody who needs to F up on a stream, I'm here for you. Otherwise, go over, tune in on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully, I'll actually do it. Stranger Things Season 2, Episodes 3 and 4 review. So, yeah, there you go.
All right, excellent. And from there, we go to the number one star citizen gamer that we know, Mando Merc, with both his channel and the Cast in Shadows podcast. All right, here we go.
All right, yeah. So I got 2 channels, I guess, to promote. I got my personal channel being Mando Merc, where I just do pretty much video game gameplay videos and shenanigans there, and then I have Cast in the Shadows, where I do pretty much reviews, news, and then my podcast of the same name. And I actually, during the show, I just got a message back from one of my friends. So we are actually going to be doing the special today, right after this show. So we do all the live streams on my Twitch. So that's twitch.tv / the Mandalorian_Merc. And I pretty much do everything there. All my live streams, whether it be gameplay or podcast or what have you. So, and I'm going to be there shortly after this stream, doing my
so we know
War for Cybertron video live stream.
Sweet. Well, so we know where to go, and we can check that out because that sounds like it's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, now we go to let's do the Mirrorsphere origin and a creator in many different ways. Let's hear it, Mirrorsphere.
Hello. Thank you all for being here. I'm just your friendly neighborhood bearded vet, and I'm doing my own novel. If you guys didn't check out my live stream last night, it might be uploaded. I think it might have uploaded already. Where we were actually going over the editing process. I just review TV shows, books, movies, talk about my book every once in a while, so check me out there. Just have fun, stay safe, stay healthy, and be good to each other.
All right, and last but not least, the famous author and accessory seller for your bathroom needs, author Stephen Walton.
Hell, my brothers and sisters in the chat, the Phantom Menace Volume 1 paperback is being put out of demand today, though you can buy the audiobook, which is narrated by Robot Shlomo of Midnight's Edge After Dark on Audible. Thank you guys and all your support. Thank you for supporting everyone in the chat, everyone on this panel. Please subscribe to all these wonderful YouTubers. We rise together. I'm going to be having TR4 on my channel this Tuesday, the beginning of your Phantom Menace Tuesday nights at 6:30. And then after that, the next 2 weeks is going to be on the channel Final Death Star. Please give him a sub. I want to get my whole team to 1,000, so if you guys can sub to Final, I'd really appreciate it. And then I believe that Saturday will be on Sporky News Podcast for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So wanted to say thank you guys very much for showing up. Thank you for supporting Culture Casino. This is a great crew of people we got working up. We're going to have a live stream at the end of August. The Sporking News Podcast has said the end of the fourth wave of the Fandom Menace should be when we started it. So it's going to be the end of August. That's it. So if you don't start a channel by then and jump into the community chat, you're on the next wave. Good luck. We will support you. But we are going to do our best to get all of our channels up to 1,000, and that's the goal that I have set. Appreciate all you guys. Congratulations to Thomas Gilkey. Memes, love seeing you out there in the chat. Apollo Patriot, you're the man. Ancient One, love seeing you. Latino Slant, Wookiee Supremacy, my brother. Thank you guys for being here. I am author Stephen Walton, the Fandom Menace historian. Your historian, born in the chats of the High Council with my brothers and sisters fighting for our modern mythologies. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Be good to each other. Peace.
Wow. Wow.
That's totally gross.
I don't know. How do you follow author Stephen Walton? I should have gone before. Look, I have to say I appreciate everybody that's here today. Like I said, I appreciate all of you out there. Be excellent to each other, as McKinney90 says, and do what this man says. Do what Latino Slant says. Latino Slant is right. Go to Kai's channel. Check out the trivia show. It's really fun. He's a fun dude. He's a fun cat. He's cool to hang out with.
I get to hang out with him. Have fun. Kai's that channel. You go to have fun, relax. That's where you go. So that definitely
is the master of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, or as I like to say, the master of fun things, and I get yelled at by him because I screwed that up bad. I tried to give the dude a shout out and I blowed that up. Anyway, thanks guys. You are all awesome. Thanks for hanging out today. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday or Monday, wherever you're at, because I know we have some folks across the pond that follow us. And until next time, guys,